Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin exhibits a volatile trend with periods of consolidation and upward momentum. The RSI consistently dips below 30, indicating oversold conditions, while the Bollinger Bands show price fluctuations around the center line. Given the recent upward trend and the forecast suggesting continued price increases, I recommend a long-term investment strategy focusing on capitalizing on potential rallies. We will implement a strategy based on RSI and Bollinger Bands. When the RSI falls below 20, we will enter a long position at $89,700. The stop loss will be set at $86,300, just below the support price, to protect against potential downturns. The initial target price will be $93,400, aligning with the recent resistance levels and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Bands to predict price movements. When the price touches the lower band, it indicates a potential buying opportunity. When the price touches the upper band, it indicates a potential selling opportunity. If the price approaches the upper Bollinger Band of $95,300 while the RSI remains below 80, we will consider taking partial profits at $92,000. If the price continues to rise and breaks through the upper Bollinger Band, we will adjust the target price to $96,700. This dynamic approach allows us to adapt to changing market conditions and maximize returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a generally upward trend, bouncing between the support price of $2,940 and the resistance price of $3,190. The RSI indicates periods of oversold and overbought conditions. Considering the recent RSI values fluctuating around 40 to 50, we are not currently in an extreme oversold territory. However, the forecast suggests a continued upward momentum with prices potentially reaching $3,150. Therefore, I recommend a moderate bullish strategy. We will enter a long position at $3,000, placing a stop loss at $2,940 to protect against a potential pullback. Our initial target price will be $3,150, aiming to capitalize on the predicted upward movement. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price is currently near the center of the bands, suggesting a period of consolidation. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, it indicates strong upward momentum, prompting us to adjust our target price to $3,190. Conversely, if the price falls below the lower Bollinger Band, it signals a potential trend reversal, and we should consider exiting the position or tightening our stop loss. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach offers a balanced strategy, combining momentum indicators with volatility assessment for enhanced risk management and potentially higher returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently fluctuates between 31.5 and 49.4, indicating neither strong bullish nor bearish momentum, but rather a range-bound behavior. The Bollinger Bands confirm this, with the price frequently touching or nearing both the upper and lower bands. Considering the RSI readings, we can implement a strategy that leverages these fluctuations. We will focus on a combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach. Our strategy involves entering long positions when the RSI dips below 31 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, and entering short positions when the RSI exceeds 70 and the price touches the upper Bollinger Band. For a long entry, let's target December 6, 2025, at $2.07, with a stop loss at $2.03 and a target price of $2.18. For a short entry, we will wait for the RSI to exceed 70 and the price to touch the upper Bollinger Band. The forecast data suggests a price around $2.1 for the next week, supporting a cautious long position. The support level at $2.03 acts as a strong floor, while the resistance at $2.18 provides a potential ceiling. This combined strategy, incorporating RSI and Bollinger Bands, aims to capitalize on the range-bound nature of XRP while mitigating risk with well-defined stop-loss and target levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a fluctuating trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI values indicate periods of oversold conditions, particularly around November 22 and December 1, suggesting potential buying opportunities. The Bollinger Bands also confirm this, with prices frequently touching the lower band, indicating possible support levels. Considering the forecast for the next week, with prices generally expected to rise, a strategy focused on capitalizing on these oversold conditions and the upward trend is recommended. We will implement a combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy, incorporating support and resistance levels for enhanced risk management. The entry point will be $877, when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 30. The stop loss will be set at $825, coinciding with the established support level, to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price will be $908, aligning with the forecast high for December 11, 2025. If the price reaches this target, we will reevaluate the market conditions and adjust the target price accordingly, potentially extending it to $922 based on previous resistance levels. This combined approach aims to maximize potential returns while mitigating risks through strategic entry, stop loss, and target price placements. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a volatile trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI consistently fluctuates, with readings frequently dipping below 40, indicating potential oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands demonstrate significant volatility, with the price often touching or crossing the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands to capture potential gains. We will implement a strategy that combines the three strategies. The entry price will be $133+, with a stop loss set at $126+, and a target price of $144+. Specifically, we will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 35 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The RSI is currently at 37.8 and the price is near the lower Bollinger Band of $124+, which is a strong signal to enter. The stop loss will be placed at the support level of $126+ to protect against potential downside risk. The target price will be set at $144+, aligning with a potential resistance level and allowing for a reasonable profit margin. This strategy balances risk and reward, capitalizing on potential upward momentum while mitigating losses through strategic stop loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slight upward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates, indicating periods of oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility and potential trend reversals. Considering these factors, a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands is recommended. Initially, we will implement a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, enter a long position at $0.281. Set a stop-loss order at $0.27, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to mitigate potential losses. The target price will be $0.295, near the resistance level. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Band signals. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 30, it confirms a strong buying opportunity. If the price approaches the upper Bollinger Band and the RSI is above 70, consider taking profits or tightening stop-loss orders. For the next week's forecast, we'll continue the long position until December 12, 2025. If the price reaches $0.283, we'll set a trailing stop-loss at $0.278 to secure profits while allowing for potential further gains. This combined approach, leveraging both RSI and Bollinger Bands, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a slight downtrend with high volatility. The RSI consistently hovers below 50, indicating a bearish sentiment. The recent value of 38.8 suggests we are approaching oversold territory, which presents a buying opportunity. Considering the support price of 0.136 and the forecast prices ranging from 0.139 to 0.143, a conservative strategy is warranted. Therefore, I recommend a long position when the price touches the support level of $0.136. Set a stop loss at $0.134 to mitigate potential losses if the price breaks through the support. The initial target price should be $0.146, aligning with the recent resistance level. To further refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price fluctuating within the bands suggests continued sideways movement. If the price touches the bottom Bollinger Band of $0.136, it confirms the oversold condition. A long position with an entry price of $0.136, a stop loss at $0.134, and a target price of $0.146 is recommended. If the price reaches the target, consider taking partial profits and setting a trailing stop loss to capture further gains. This approach balances the potential for high returns with risk management, capitalizing on the current market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano has shown considerable volatility with a recent dip, suggesting a potential for a rebound. The RSI consistently hovered below 30, indicating oversold conditions, while the Bollinger Bands have been widening, reflecting increased price fluctuations. The support price remains stable at $0.386, and the resistance is at $0.436. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy capitalizing on the anticipated rebound. We will enter a long position at $0.405, placing a stop-loss order at $0.386 to mitigate potential losses if the price continues to decline. The initial target price will be set at $0.436, aligning with the resistance level. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI rises above 30 and the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, we will maintain the long position. If the RSI reaches 80 and the price touches the top of the Bollinger Bands, we will consider taking profits or adjusting the target price. The forecast data suggests a slight upward trend in the short term, further supporting our long position. If the price reaches $0.436, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.405 to secure profits. This strategy combines technical indicators with support and resistance levels to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently tested the support level of $547 and bounced back, indicating strong buying pressure. The RSI values fluctuate around the midpoint, with recent readings above 50, suggesting bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, indicating increasing volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering the forecast for the next week, with prices predicted to reach $602, I recommend a long position. Entry price should be $572, with a stop loss set at $560 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price should be $585, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position. Conversely, when the RSI exceeds 70, signaling an overbought condition, we will consider taking profits or reducing exposure. In this case, the RSI is currently around 55, so we will wait for an oversold signal before entering. If the price breaks above the $585 target, we will raise the stop loss to the entry price and set a new target price of $593. This adaptive approach will allow us to maximize profits while minimizing risk, capitalizing on the prevailing upward trend in Bitcoin Cash. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH has shown a volatile trend with periods of both upward and downward movement. The RSI consistently dips below 30, indicating oversold conditions, while the price frequently tests the resistance level of $3,450. The Bollinger Bands show expansion, suggesting increased volatility and potential for significant price swings. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Band signals with support and resistance levels. We will implement a long position when the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, and the price is near the support level of $3,190. The entry price will be $3,190. To manage risk, the stop loss will be set at $3,150, slightly below the support level. The initial target price will be $3,390, aligning with the forecast price and a reasonable profit margin. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Bands as a confirmation signal. When the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, which is currently around $2,950, it further confirms the oversold condition and strengthens the buy signal. If the price reaches $3,390, we will move the stop loss to the break-even point of $3,190 to secure profits. If the price continues to rise, we will set a second target price at $3,450, the resistance level, to capture further gains. This combined strategy leverages the strengths of RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels to maximize potential returns while mitigating risk. The final portfolio is a long position with an entry price of $3,190, a stop loss of $3,150, and target prices of $3,390 and $3,450. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aster has been exhibiting volatility with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently fluctuating around the 40 to 50 range suggests a neutral to slightly bearish sentiment, occasionally dipping into oversold territory. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been bouncing between the upper and lower bands, indicating potential for short-term price swings. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy focusing on short-term opportunities. We will implement a strategy that leverages both RSI and Bollinger Bands. First, we'll initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 38 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. For example, if the price reaches 0.98 on December 7, 2025, we enter a long position at $0.98. The stop loss will be set slightly below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.96 to mitigate potential losses. Our initial target price will be the middle of the Bollinger Bands, which is approximately $1.04. If the price reaches $1.04, we will take partial profits. We will then set a trailing stop loss at $1.01 to secure the gains and potentially capture further upside if the trend reverses. This combined strategy aims to capitalize on short-term volatility while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a fluctuating trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI values indicate periods of oversold conditions, particularly around November 22 and December 1, suggesting potential buying opportunities. The Bollinger Bands also confirm this, with prices frequently touching the lower band, indicating possible support levels. Considering the forecast for the next week, with prices generally expected to rise, a strategy focused on capitalizing on these oversold conditions and the upward trend is recommended. We will implement a combined RSI and Bollinger Bands strategy, incorporating support and resistance levels for enhanced risk management. The entry point will be $877 when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 30. The stop loss will be set at $825, coinciding with the established support level, to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price will be $908, aligning with the forecast high for December 11, 2025. If the price reaches this target, we will reevaluate the market conditions and adjust the target price accordingly, potentially extending it to $922 based on previous resistance levels. This combined approach aims to maximize potential returns while mitigating risks through strategic entry, stop loss, and target price placements. Based on the historical data and forecast, World Liberty Financial shows a slightly upward trend with some volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the 50 to 65 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of consolidation and potential breakout opportunities. Considering the support price of 0.145 and resistance of 0.153, and the forecast predicting prices around 0.154 to 0.158, a conservative strategy focused on short-term gains is recommended. I suggest a buy position when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, around $0.154, with a stop loss placed just below the support level at $0.144. The target price should be set near the resistance level at $0.161. To optimize returns, I propose a layered approach combining RSI and Bollinger Band signals. First, initiate a buy order when the RSI dips below 49.3, around $0.151, indicating an oversold condition. Place a stop loss at $0.144, just below the support price. For the target, aim for $0.161 when the price touches the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $0.161, consider taking partial profits and moving the stop loss to break even to protect gains. This strategy balances risk and reward, capitalizing on short-term volatility while maintaining a safety net with a stop-loss order. Based on the historical data and forecast, NEXO shows a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition, suggesting potential for a rebound. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is approaching the lower band, which is another indication of a potential buying opportunity. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.949. To mitigate risk, set a stop loss at $0.94, just below the support level. For the target price, aim for $1.02, which is near the center of the Bollinger Bands and slightly above the recent resistance. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 20, consider entering a long position at $0.956, with a stop loss at $0.945 and a target price of $0.994. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, enter a long position at $0.957, with a stop loss at $0.945 and a target price of $0.971. Combining these signals, the most efficient portfolio would involve entering a long position at $0.949, with a stop loss at $0.94 and a target price of $1.02, adjusting based on RSI and Bollinger Band confirmations. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON demonstrates a volatile trend with periods of oversold and overbought conditions. The RSI consistently dips below 30, indicating oversold territory, while the price fluctuates between the support of $1.55 and the resistance of $1.65. The Bollinger Bands also confirm this volatility, with prices frequently touching the lower band, suggesting potential buying opportunities. Given this analysis, I recommend a strategy that leverages these conditions. We will implement a combined strategy using RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. The core of this strategy involves identifying oversold conditions and capitalizing on potential rebounds. When the RSI falls below 20, we will enter a long position at $1.53. The stop loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $1.42 to protect against further downside risk. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $1.65, offering a potential gain of $0.12. If the price reaches the resistance level, we will move the stop loss to break even at $1.53. If the RSI rises above 80, we will exit the position to avoid potential losses. This strategy aims to capture short-term price movements within the established support and resistance levels, maximizing returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, IOTA shows a downtrend, with the price decreasing from 0.115 to 0.095. The support price remains consistently at 0.0987, while the resistance fluctuates around 0.109. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a weakening momentum, with the lowest value at 24.9, suggesting a potential oversold condition. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, indicating decreasing volatility, and the price is currently near the lower band, further suggesting a potential for a short-term bounce. Therefore, I recommend a contrarian strategy, anticipating a short-term bounce from the oversold level. We will enter a long position at $0.095, placing a stop loss at $0.093 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.101, aiming to capitalize on a short-term rebound. If the price reaches $0.101, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.095 to secure profits. Further gains can be targeted at the resistance level of $0.109, but this will require reassessment of the overall trend. This strategy combines RSI oversold signals with Bollinger Bands near the lower band to maximize the probability of a successful trade. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slight upward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates, indicating periods of oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility and potential trend reversals. Considering these factors, a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands is recommended. Initially, we will implement a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, enter a long position at $0.281. Set a stop-loss order at $0.27, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to mitigate potential losses. The target price will be $0.295, near the resistance level. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Band signals. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 30, it confirms a strong buying opportunity. If the price approaches the upper Bollinger Band and the RSI is above 70, consider taking profits or tightening stop-loss orders. For the next week's forecast, we'll continue the long position until December 12, 2025. If the price reaches $0.283, we'll set a trailing stop-loss at $0.278 to secure profits while allowing for potential further gains. This combined approach, leveraging both RSI and Bollinger Bands, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, PAX Gold shows an overall upward trend with consistent trading within the 4090 support and 4240 resistance levels. The RSI consistently remains between 49.9 and 66.9, indicating neither oversold nor overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding slightly, suggesting increasing volatility. Considering the forecast for the next week, with prices hovering around 42.20 to 42.30, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $4,220, setting a stop-loss at $4,090, just below the established support level. The initial target price will be $4,240, aligning with the resistance level. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the RSI indicator. If the RSI drops below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at the prevailing price, setting a stop-loss at $4,090 and a target price at $4,240. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 80, indicating an overbought condition, we will consider a short position with a stop-loss at $4,240 and a target price at $4,090. Combining these approaches, our portfolio will prioritize the long position at $4,220 with a stop-loss at $4,090 and a target price at $4,240, adjusting based on RSI signals for enhanced risk management and potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, just shows an overall upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently fluctuates above 50, indicating bullish momentum, though it briefly entered oversold territory on December 5, 2025. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. The forecast predicts a slight pullback initially before resuming the upward trend. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. My strategy involves entering a long position at $0.0389, coinciding with a slight dip in the forecast and a bounce from the support level of $0.0383. The stop-loss will be set at $0.0379, just below the lower Bollinger Band to protect against unexpected downside risks. The initial target price is $0.042, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and previous resistance levels. If the price reaches $0.042, I will adjust the stop-loss to break even to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. The final target price is $0.0435, which represents a significant resistance level. This strategy combines RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels for a balanced approach to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, SUN token shows a slight upward trend, but with considerable volatility. The RSI consistently hovers around the oversold territory below 40, suggesting the asset might be undervalued. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of contraction and expansion, with the price frequently touching the lower band. Considering the support price of $0.0209 and the forecast prices, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.0208, placing a stop-loss order at $0.0205 to mitigate potential losses if the price declines. The target price will be set at $0.0219, aiming to capitalize on the predicted upward movement over the next week. To refine this strategy, we'll integrate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it confirms an oversold condition, strengthening the long signal. Conversely, if the RSI approaches 80 and the price nears the upper Bollinger Band, it suggests a potential overbought condition, prompting us to take profits earlier. The portfolio will prioritize the long position strategy, with adjustments based on RSI and Bollinger Band confirmations. This combined approach seeks to balance risk and reward, maximizing potential returns while minimizing downside exposure.